Well, I didn't get in trouble as a juvenile. I didn't start getting in trouble until after high school. You know, doing from like 12 and a half to 13, I played tennis. So, you know, even though I got into stuff, but, you know, nothing major, you know. Well, I never did state time. I did county time, and I really didn't like county time. Lompoc was, the day I pulled up at Lompoc, we pulled up in a jailhouse bus. It kind of looks like a Greyhound. And it has bars on the inside, and it has guys shackled from head to toe. And when we pulled up, it kind of looked like this wall right here. If you look at the freeway behind me here, except it had rust coming down from where the bars were. And you couldn't see anybody, no windows, just these big iron steel bars. And then when you walk in, the reception center is down in like a basement. So in this basement, it looks like a dungeon. And you can smell the oldness. You know, if you ever been in an old concrete building that's been like mildewed and wet, you can smell this like this odor. And it has these great big bar doors, and it has cages all through. It's just cages where different groups of guys are putting, and where they classify you, because you go through what they call classification. So once you're going through classification, they put you in these different rooms until after you classified, and they find out if it's safe for you to go on the compound. But being there is at first it's depressing. You know, when I first got there, you know, I felt sorry for myself. You know, like, how did you get yourself into this situation? But after I was there, then it made me tighten up my game. It made me realize that that was not the place that I wanted to be for the rest of my life. That I was not going to spend the rest of my life in Lompoc, and whatever it took to get out of that situation, I was willing to do. I'm a nonviolent person. I don't believe in violence unless it's absolutely necessary, and meaning that if somebody's threatening me, my person or my family, and then that's the only time that I should use violence, is to defend myself. And I practice that in my drug business, and I practice it with the guys around me, because I know that if one of them committed a crime, it could also be associated with me, and they might associate it with our organization. So I tried to keep violence down as much as possible. And believe it or not, most drug dealers do. Most drug dealers don't like violence. It's a thing that, this myth that they put on TV that wants drug dealers to be violent, and a lot of that is so that they can't give us these long prison sentences. So that if they give you 30 years or a life sentence, then it's justified because you're violent, you're dangerous, and so forth. So when I started in the drug business, I started with $125. My partner started with $125. We vowed that we would never hurt anybody over money. Everything that I do now is similar to what I used to do. You know, I was sitting at a table one night and we was talking about the movie. So when I get up, this is an Indian investor. He works for one of these big investment companies. So when I get up from the table, he reaches into his briefcase and he pulls out this hair. And I was like, what the hell is that? And he's like, oh, this is hair. This costs $300. I said, $300? I said, let me see it. So he let me see it, and he gave me one to take home and show to some people. I took it and I showed it. He told me how much it was worth and what I could get it for, and then I sold it. So that was how I got started selling hair. Well, the hair market is billions of dollars, you know, and it's a market that blacks used to control, and now it's controlled by the Koreans and the Chinese and the Indians, and I want to tap into it. You know, I feel that we could use some of that money to build schools where we could educate our kids on what to do.
Now, I was reading that you want to do more in the hair aspect, but does your parole prohibit you from traveling abroad so you can get a good deal on the hair?
It does hinder me. I would have to go to the judge and get a court order in order to travel outside the country. But it's something that I'm willing to do. I already went and got my passport. I just have to put everything in play. Well, being on parole is really tough, especially for somebody like me, because what I become is kind of like a jailhouse jailhouse hero almost. You know, I'm the guy that went to jail and that they see that's making it. You know, it's a lot of guys that get out of jail and make it, but most guys don't do on the street what they said they was gonna do in prison, and guys in prison are seeing me making strides to accomplish the goals that I had planned in prison. So that attracts guys to come to me and ask me questions. You know, how did you do it? How did you do that? And just being black, you know, here in America, you know, 10,000 out of every 100,000 black men in America are convicted felons. So it really makes it tough for me to associate with black men.
Now you said something about that this whole hair industry is based off of people's ignorance, and I guess the idea of them wanting to have long hair when genetically that's not the hair they have. Where do you think that comes from?
Well, I think it's a hatred or a dislike of themselves. You know, it's almost like the people who used to smoke crack. You know, they smoked crack because they didn't want to deal with reality, what was going on around them and inside them. So what they did is they found a way that they could escape. And I believe that girls are using hair almost the same way. And, you know, and guys, we do the same thing. You know, we use other toys to take us out of our responsibility. You know, it's a great hatred for black right now. You know, being black is not one of the favorite things.
But you're not uncomfortable about making some money off of that. Explain that. Some people might criticize that.
Well, that's a good one. There's a lot of things that people make money off of that I don't agree with. You know, I don't eat meat. I don't eat chicken. Will I sell chicken and will I sell meat? Yes, I will. I mean, if people want to be ignorant and buy things that they don't need, who am I to say, you know, that this person can't do in life what they want? But at the same time, I can't give my opinion on how I feel about it. In my personal lifestyle, I'm a vegetarian, I'm a vegan, because I don't eat sugar, I don't eat butter, I don't drink milk, I don't eat cheese, no animal product. I don't want to consume any animal product. I don't get high, you know what I'm saying? I don't drink, I drink red wine once in a while, but other than that, I don't drink, I don't smoke. I want to be healthy. I want to live a long time, and I think that other people should adopt my lifestyle, but it's not my job to push my lifestyle on anybody.
There was a photo of you in the article speaking at a halfway house. I guess you speak to a lot of youth about your past and some of the stuff that you've been involved with. Tell me how it feels doing that type of work.
Oh, I love it. I love going around, sharing my experience, letting guys know that they can do what I do or even better. You know, because a lot of times people don't have self-esteem. You know, back to the girls who need the hair to make themselves feel better or make themselves feel beautiful when they're already beautiful. You know, the Creator created you beautiful. So when I get to go to these halfway houses and to these juvenile detention centers and I tell these kids, you know, how great they are and how beautiful they are, it just lightens my spirit. You know, we felt that we was the smartest people in the world. You know, we felt that we could bring a car here, take the license plates off of it, and nobody would know whose car it was.
I said, what street are we on? They said, Florida. The Florida look like this when I left. Why I look so ugly out here? So nasty. You know, it was in them 7.5 years I was gone, the world had really changed.